needed to make a baby boy announcement card, or it can be a welcome card. And I'm also doing a challenge using the new arrival cartridge, which is a cartridge that's been around for a while, but I thought this would work out okay. What I did was I used the image on page 128, and this is the tag that I used in the inside of the tag, and then this right here is the card. And let's see, oh, and I also used It's a Boy, and that is on page 90, and I used the circle, and that's right there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the pieces now that I showed you what was in the handbook. This is the card, and I cut that out at 8.25 in height on the Gypsy. This is the tag, and it was a little confusing when I tried to read it on my Gypsy, so I looked at the measurement on here, and I said it was 4.5. The Gypsy wanted to say 3, so check this one. What the deal is what I tried to do is make sure that it was larger than that hole right there, so that it wouldn't fall through the hole, because that's how I would put that together, it's just like that. So just double check that for me. I don't know why it was reading differently on my Gypsy, but at any rate, it measures, actual measurement on my mat is about 4.5 inches. Then this piece will go on top of that, and it's the dotted piece, and it says it's 5.16, which again, if you look, which is confusing to me, it really measures, let's see here, 2.5 inches. So again, confusing with these measurements, but if you get the one piece right, this piece right, and you fit this inside and then this on top of that, you'll be fine. I'm sorry that the measurements are not reading the same on the Gypsy. This one right here looks like a paper pierced piece, and I also got that from New Arrival, but I didn't write down where it was on there, but I did get this paper pierced all the way around. And then the one on the bottom, I already showed you, It's a Boy, and again, it says that it's cut out at 1.39. The paper pierced one says it's 1.87. And I'm going to go ahead and put that all together for you, and I'm going to see if I can find out where I got this from in the handbook, and I'll get back. Okay, so I found the paper piercing circle, and it is on page 88. It's with the congratulations, and it also has a really cool card that has paper piercing all around it as well. But I used the circle, and I used the main circle, so that's where I got that from. Okay, so the first thing I do to start making this card is I folded the card with a circle in it in half. I put the part that's going to be on the outside, the circle frame, on the inside of my Cuttlebug folder, and then the back part I left on the outside so it won't emboss. So it's just the front that I'm embossing. And we'll run that through the Cuttlebug, and it'll have the embossed Swiss dots on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the tag that goes inside. Okay, so my tag is all put together. The next thing I need is a piece of this tool. And I cut a piece of this about 2 inches. It's about, let's see, 6 inches wide. And I cut it 2 inches. Actually, the whole thing is 6 inches wide, but then I cut a 2-inch strip off the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie that to the top, and I will be finished. Okay, so before I make my tag, I went ahead and I hand stitched, but I stitched on the machine on each side of this to make it a little pocket. And that's what I do first. Now I'm going to do the tag. I just added the first layer to the tag. And this is the second layer, and then I have one more layer, and the tag will be done. I know it's hard to see that tool, but I did tie it. I only made one tie. I didn't knot it. I just tied down once because the tool seems to hold that well. So the hardest thing about making this card is basically cutting it out on the Cricut. And if you aren't a sewer, I suppose that's a little bit tough too. But other than that, it's a pretty easy card to make, especially if you have to mass produce them, like I need to make 18. So that's the card. Thanks for watching.